taste that made history. Apparently, it's precious cargo as well. We basically regained all the weight we lost in the last 2.5 weeks in these 2 weeks of break. By the way, I'm gonna have a mango smoothie and a chocolate sundae, shared with the missus. There's a very good reason as to why we regained all the weight, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. Hello there, good folks watching the daily vlog. Welcome to day number 18. All right, after last night, we got to talk. Now, something that's extremely crucial with any transformation and being able to maintain it after the transformation is your relationship with food. Now, whenever an individual goes through some serious stress or, a bout of just unbearable trauma, like I did when I had my back injury, like it was the first time I had something that major. I had an ankle injury before that, toenail getting scraped off, all of that, small stuff. Water under the bridge. But this back injury was something huge. So in that time period, which was around a year and a half or almost 2 years to kind of properly get back to starting this transformation officially as a vlog, that had messed up my relationship with food, because all I could do was, if you've ever known someone who's had a back injury or have had one unfortunately yourself, you would know, I could lie down in bed and then I could do my coaching, eat food. Literally, there is no room for any sort of activity or any sort of just joyful mobility that could be included safely into my life. So at this point, food was extremely, useful in getting my dopamine rush, in just being able to feel good day to day, apart from my productivity, of course, sending coaching plans or whatever. This is something I discuss with all my clients. Transformation is easy, but then maintaining it after that requires an individual to build a new healthy relationship with their food, which is something I need to also start doing, because in these 2 weeks, when I got stressed again, obviously we had just started the prep, and then out of nowhere, bam, we had our flu, and then a very close family member also got sick. So all of that put together was just crazy stressful, and the fact that I'm not able to make content and keep the transformation going hit me really hard, and I'm usually good at maintaining that. But my brain has kind of been rewired after this huge break, a huge drive into sedentary life out of nowhere. It's easier when I do it with a client, because I've done it with so many clients. It's not a problem at all. It just takes time, but if you properly approach it with the right variables, understanding the lifestyle of the individual, it's a piece of cake. I mean, now it is, but initially I used to struggle with that. The problem is, whenever I coach someone and help them fix their relationship with food, my program in itself is designed to be like that. It's not just something that gives you a diet. It is designed to help you build a better relationship with food. That was one of the primary reasons my program got really successful the moment I launched it. So when I'm coaching a client, I'm a third person and they feel they have to be accountable to me. So I'm the individual who's going to put that pressure, not directly, but indirectly. They're going to feel like, okay, there's this guy who's watching out and doing check-ins. So there is that pressure to kind of, be able to have some credibility built into you day to day, just as a reminder in the back of your head. But when I'm coaching myself, there's a chance I might take it for granted. So these 2 weeks, I just let it go. I just saw what's going to happen, and crazy things happened. I was diving into cakes and chocolates and deep fried meats and everything that's forbidden in the world of dieting per se, clean eating or whatever. Of course, we take a more balanced approach. Anyway, we got to fix our relationship with food, and I'll be doing that as we transform so that this transformation will last. And I'm glad we took this break where I kind of entirely rebounded. We're at 2:36 this morning. So this allows me to bring you guys and, make you a companion in this side of my life. Everyone just shows the good stuff that happens in their life, especially fitness coaches. They're always shredded, and that's what they post, and that's okay. I'm not judging anyone here, but this side is the reality as well, and I'm glad I'm able to show you. Seriously hungry. I need to go and get some food. We happen to be in a day where everyone's having lamb and fried chicken at home, and we have good old egg whites. Meal one is actually extremely late. It's already afternoon. I had to wash my car in the morning. The secret to very good egg whites is to keep the flame low and keep whisking after pouring into the pan every 20 odd seconds. The secret to make egg whites delicious is to add a few yolks, but that's reserved for next meal. Egg yolks are amazing, by the way. I usually have 2 to 3 every day, unless I'm having other meats like animal meats like chicken or lamb or beef or whatever. Got to make some dosas. I've come to understand that 2.5 ml of ghee happens to be the sweet spot for dosa. So do that and that. Anything more is just overkill at this point. So you don't want to add those extra calories unnecessarily while you could have them in something more voluminous. All right, funny part is the house is a meat market today. I mean, look at that. There's chicken 65 and there's some mandi rice. There is some absolutely phenomenal mandi meat. I mean, look at that. That's just slow cooked to perfection. And then we have those on egg whites. Probably gonna make a cheeky chicken leg. And we got this meal with some sambar. Brilliant. After this, we go trade. I'm gonna finish this and see you just before I hit the gym. We have a chest and shoulder session, well, ideally a push session. Doing a bit of triceps to wrap it up as well. My warm-ups as of now is just like a quick treadmill walk, basic dynamic stretching, nothing fancy. I do a warm-up set though for each specific workout, so that can be game-changing if you're someone who really struggles with doing a proper structured warm-up routine, ideally, but you know, to each his own. Some people might need more, but yeah, this is my sweet spot. Just kidding, this is actually just the warm-up, so got some 15s. If you have the time, I'd actually recommend a proper warm-up set for almost every workout, because that can really kind of, you know, stretch out the fibers a little. So any sudden shock when you load up with like, you know, 30s or 40s or whatever is mitigated. So I'm not going too heavy, you know, no crazy load like I used to do long back. With the back injury recovery, still just playing around with 25s or 30s, rarely the 30s, but with the right tempo, which is more than enough if you can, you know, properly have a solid mind-muscle connection going on. 3 down, 1 more set. See, that's the advantage of the private gym here. You can slam as much as you want. I don't recommend slamming if you're in a public gym or anywhere for that matter. I do have a rubber mat though. Look at that. So that's still fine. And it's concrete underneath. So. The main reason is because if I hold the weight and then get back up, the recovering lower back is going to be put on a lot of strain. So we don't want that. So slam away. 1 more set, and we go into shoulders. Good stuff. I'm actually feeling the pump a bit more than usual, probably because I've taken a long break, so the stimulus hits harder than it usually does. Shoulders next. Ashi! Local politics. I think the right formula is to know when to stop. Going to failure is amazing, yeah, but then ask any seasoned athlete. You don't want to always go to failure, but you definitely want to go as close to it as you safely possibly can. That way, let's say injury chances, more hypertrophy, more muscle retention on a fat loss journey. I'm in the mood for some paratha, but we don't have paratha. So my brother's going to make some for me. Ready-made வாங்கிக்கலாம். We'll get some ready-made paratha after this. You know what I have in here? Is it pre-workout? No. BCAAs? No. Intra-workout? No. Good old water. You know why? Because all of that can help you, but you don't need that to get in shape. Just need a good solid pre-workout meal. And inside a secret, I also sneaked in some lamb in the diet, in the last meal. So it was just too good not to have. So pretty loaded up. Actually, I think I probably need another hour for it to properly digest, but then running short on time, so I had to quickly run training with just 60 minutes post the last meal. So still good though. That's a wrap with the flies. We move on to some side delts, good old lateral raises to give that shoulder some extra burn. This is actually one of my personal favorites. In a crowded gym, it can be fairly hard to do something like this, but if you can, the look away lateral raises are far superior than the dumbbell ones because there's constant tension even at the lower end. See, at this end, with the dumbbell, there's very less tension, but with the cable, there's constant tension, which is actually pretty good. And the tension actually goes up on an incline. It rises as you go up, making it harder to do the rep, which makes it even more hypertrophy focused when you pause in the top like that for a second. So if you can, get these in occasionally. I think I'm getting a cramp in one of my calves. You know, when you're doing an upper body workout sometimes, and you're trying to get the right seating position, and you're fiddling with your legs to figure out what suits, your plane of motion properly. And I think that's what I was doing with the flies. Usually it happens to your hams or calves most of the times, because, you're sitting on them. Yeah, hopefully I should be okay. I'm also fairly dehydrated compared to usual today, not even close to my 3-liter target. So you see this was the finger that was swollen. It's actually slightly better. If you saw the last real format daily vlog I did, which is day 17, the one before this. Oh no, the sick announcement. So technically in between 17 and 18, I told you I injured my index finger on the left hand and it was swollen. It's kind of better now. Able to move it just a little better than what I used to be able to. So that's pretty good. You want to really get that long head stretch going on the eccentric, and you don't want to go crazy on the weight. The katana extensions are one of the workouts where very slight load, like 2 to 3 plates on either side, will do the trick. And yeah, don't go really fast. Slow down the eccentric as much as you can. Hey, get close. It's obviously not single cell, it's just really tiny. Alright, so we're gonna go to a quick grocery haul, and we got masks because a ton of flu was doing the rounds, and COVID seems to be one of them, but this strand is not that virulent, and this is from a trusted source. So if you can, try to wear a surgical mask. It doesn't have to be an N95. It's not that bad like it used to be, like 2-3 years ago. Not for you, but especially for the people living with you, the ones who probably don't go out but get it because you go out and bring the flu back home, especially if you have little ones. Yeah, a mask is going to do a ton of good for you. The closing out is actually busy. Not entirely sure if it's just this one or others, but a lot of people, man. That's why I usually never shop on Sunday evenings, but we had a bit of a paratha emergency. Home sweet home. Let's go have some. Kitchen's fairly busy and smoky, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Got our egg whites. It's draining. These are actually like 1 day old. It's been in the fridge though, so slightly milky, but I mean it's still pretty good. So that is gonna be our next meal. I think after this I might throw in some lamb and mandi rice, but for now it's amazing. The paratha's flavor is just phenomenal. Just goes in with the whole eggs. I've also been sneaking chicken 65 through the day, so there's that as well. Tons of eyeballing, but it's been a great start to come back with the transformation. So that wraps our day. Now, ideally, I'd have more veggies or fruit in my life, but today was crazy hectic. The chef was on holiday, so kind of managed with whatever we could. After this glass of milk, I might have another snack though. I wouldn't call it a snack. Maybe some lamb was left behind, so I might have that. I'm not entirely sure, but that wraps our day. I think it's been fairly good. It feels amazing to be back in landscape mode, to catch up with you guys every day. Yeah, I tried shorts and reels. Yeah, it was kind of good, but then yeah, I think I'll probably stick with the long form stuff, stuff like this. And that is a wrap of day 18. I'm going to get some work sorted. We did do cardio today, by the way. I did early in the morning, fasted cardio, 20 minutes, knocked it out of the park, easy stuff, slow walk on the treadmill. It's going to be low intensity for a while though. Still staying back safe. What time is it? Oh, it's 10:45. I usually start my day at like 4:30 or 5 in the morning, so yeah, night to night.